student's life is influenced by the mass communication, using tablets, mobile, smartphone, smart TV. These all are basically gadgets, application softwares are now the part of our life. It is evident that IT gadgets have played a significant role in the improvement of learning and teaching as well. Today, in our classrooms, we are using a very small device that is called smart mobile phone in the place of the computer. Once upon a time, we are habitual of using the computers in the computer lab. Now, these computers are on our hands in the form of smartphones. Smart TVs are another example of these things. Integration of technology in education is changing traditional method of teaching, no doubt. Now, we are no more stuck with the classical or conventional teaching method. We are moving towards the digital integration of the teaching, or you can say digital integration of all these things in our teaching as well as in learning. In the learning process, cognitive gain, skills development, visualizations, and power the virtual experience among young ones can be observed at fast pace in earlier years as compared to the elders. We have observed that the kids in our home are much more smarter than us. Once we are exposed to the computers, PC1, PC2, PC3, these are the Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, but now we are having much more smart and even fast computers in our hands. And young ones, little kids, are much more smarter than us, what we have experienced in our life, in our young age. So we can use their smartness, this kind of, you can say, quality in a better way, in a good, effective way. So students are becoming active learners by using technology tools. There is no doubt in it. Students are much more smarter than the teachers at the moment. If a teacher thinks that I am smarter than students, I think you are living in a full paradox. If I want to teach the students, technologically equipped students, then I must be much more hardworking than the students. Theoretical frame of this study basically constructivism. I am focusing on the constructivist theory. Constructivist is one of the learning theory. Why constructivist? Because constructivist approach promotes the learning process as an active process with the use of technology tools, because it enhances the possibilities of a learner to achieve independent and active role in the construction of new knowledge. Once we were habitual of going to the libraries, we were having the books in published form, in the printed form. Now the books are on our hand. In the tablets, in the smartphone, we can access very recent and new knowledge. At a very small click, we have exposed to all knowledge. So by using this constructivist approach, we can blend their informal experiences with the actual formal way of education. Here our basic concern is about the formation of students' academic attitude. I have earlier explained to you that this is one piece of the cake. It's basic, a big project. We have created a conceptual framework, a model in which we have taken many variables. At this moment, I'm explaining just one relationship between the two variables, that is the use of information technology and development of or the formation of academic attitude. And I am keeping constant other variables at the moment. So the current paper is aiming at investigating the role of information technology on the formation of primary school students' academic attitude. Conceptual framework. This is the one part of the model. I'm dealing with the use of technology tools with academic attitude and the use of IT. For the moment, I am omitting this part of the relationship that is dealing with the achievement and the performance. So, as you can see, the use of technology tool is basically depending upon the three indicators: use of IT devices, students' engagement in the IT tools, and frequency of usage of IT tools. with respect to time in weeks and hours. And academic attitude is depending upon the three constructs: learning attitude, intrinsic motivation, and active learner. So what was the research methodology? Quantitative survey research methodology was used in this part of the study. And this study, basically in this paper, we are mainly considering two variables only, that is use of technology tools and academic attitude of the students. What was the research instrument? I have just explained you these three indicators of the information technology usage and academic attitude. How the research instrument was developed it is not the part of my today's presentation, but for your knowledge, I just want to explain that instrument development is a complete process. It is not a just checking the validity and the reliability only. We developed the item tools and we have borrowed some kind of scales. We extracted the factors through using the exploratory factor analysis. This is the statistical technique. From the pool of the items, we extract the factors. And after extracting those factors, we just want to confirm whether these factors, extracted factors, are basically compatible with the model of the study or not. For this reason, we used confirmatory factor analysis. And after confirmatory factor analysis technique, we finally came to the point that we have developed a scale or instrument of this study. So after going through this whole process of instrument development, I'm just sharing some of my results here. Before sharing the results, I just want to see explain what was the population sampling technique was used in this study. Stratified sampling technique was adopted to draw the sample. At first stage, what we did, 3 out of 7 tehsils were selected. Sargodha district is consisted of 7 tehsils, and randomly we selected 3 tehsils from the Sargodha district. Only Sargodha district is not a part of this study, I must mention here. Basically, Punjab has been divided into 3 regions: North Punjab, South Punjab, and Central Punjab. I am presenting over here one district of the Central Punjab, Sargodha. So Sargodha, Momin, and Sahiwal, these are the tehsils of the Sargodha district among the 7. Total 353 primary school public sectors, only public sector. I must mention that this study has been carried out on the public sector schools only. Total, there are 353 primary schools in Sargodha. This tehsil, Momin tehsil has 189 primary schools, and Sahiwal has 173 total primary schools. Out of these, what we have done, we have taken 10% of the primary schools from each tehsil. So in this way, total 71 primary schools were selected from the Sargodha district, both male and female equally. For example, we have selected 35 schools from the Sargodha. We have taken considered that half should be the male and half should be female. And it's been 17 were from female primary schools and 17 were selected from male primary schools. Lastly, 10% of the 5th grade students from each school were selected randomly. Total, it was around 654 students were selected, but in order to create the normality in the data, we had to delete the outliers. Some were not completed questionnaire, so round figure was 500 male and female students in the public primary schools. We tried our best to take the equal portion, but it is not possible for us. Basically, males are more than females in the schools. The results and the findings are here. This is the very first table explaining the respondents' demographic, 4 demographic variables which creates a difference. It is documented in the literature also. Gender, tehsil, where do you live? Gender, total was 62% males and 38% female. And this is the bifurcation according to the tehsils: 38% from Sargodha, 30% from Momin, and Sahiwal, 32%. It's been out of total 500 selected students. This was the bifurcation according to the tehsils. And where do you live, city, village, or town? Because Sargodha is such district which has more villages than cities. So the people are living in not only the cities, they are living, most of the people are living in the rural areas, and some are between the rural and the urban, that is town. That we can't say this is total village or this is a total city, so we say it is a town. So gender difference, what we have found, that the active learner and the learning attitude basically are the two variables or sub-variables which were found significant according to the gender. More males than females were found as an active learners, and learning attitude, more males than females were found having more and better learning attitude toward the education in these variables. Prediction of academic attitude, because here we are dealing with the prediction of the academic attitude on the basis of use of IT tools. So my first model was academic attitude on the basis of use of IT tools. This was the first model, and the other three models are basically for their sub-variables. These are the, I have squeezed all four models in one table. You can see the R value is 0.628. This is very interesting that this is a multiple regression coefficient, which explains that how much a use of IT tool can variate or explain the learning attitude of the students. So these figures are showing that this is basically a good model to study. Here we can see the unstandardized coefficients. For M1, you can see 0.349, statistically speaking. These all four models are significant models. They are significantly determining the academic attitude of the students, not only as a complete variable, but for the constructs also. If we increase 1 unit of use of information technology, we can have increment of attitude of 0.34 unit. This is not a small unit. 0.35 means 35% of the learning attitude can be enhanced through the use of IT tools. Similarly for the other variables. Conclusions and discussions, though we know that excessive use of IT tools is harmful for the students. However, at the same time, these IT devices can be beneficial in many ways. If these are used for the educational purpose and creative activities. This is the era we cannot forbid the students not to use the IT tools. We can modify their use. So my purpose for explaining here, we should, as teachers, as educationists, we should modify their use of IT tools towards the learning process. These technology tools may engage the students purposefully in order to enable them as an active learner. And result of this current study showed that information of academic attitude. These technology tools have a great impact on the students' learning attitude and has developed into the source for the students' intrinsic motivation, which has been verified through the models even. And as the research says that the gender has been recognized a very significant variable. And here we have found that gender also found a significant variable. More males than females are getting the benefit from the use of IT tools. I'm not going in the depth why it was so, but because it needs a lot of discussion. It is sensible that guardians should set the timetable for their children. This is my humble suggestion for utilizing this technology devices to protect them from the negative influence. It is necessary that the students should be provided healthy and conducive learning environment. In the previous presentation, we were talking about the blended learning, and I am also talking about the blended learning. On parallel, parents should be aware of their children's habits in using IT tools. It is not the challenge for students at the moment. This is the challenge for the parents and the teachers. We, as a parents and the teachers, must be prepared for the